All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, the blameless to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Shalom to the elect pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, with hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the MOTB. The serpent juice is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahweh Shai, whom dwell ignorantly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as is written. So, we're in the last days, as you may know or you may not know, in which Yahweh Shimon Shai have risen up pastors in these last days to declare the end of this age, letting it be known who is bringing the judgment upon the earth and the signs of the end of this age. So with that, I just want to go straight into this lesson. This is 2 Ezra 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass which I have told thee before. And there's a reason why a lot of people cannot understand these signs which Yahweh Shimon Shai have declared aforetime, because it's not revealed unto many, as it is written in 2 Ezra 8 verse, I'm going to start at verse 61. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. And that is why you see the few out there now, which is the servants of Yahweh Shimon Shai, declaring these things, as is written in 2 Ezra 15 verse 1. So we're supposed to speak the words of prophecy to the Lord's people, what the Lord has put within our mouth. As is written in 2 Ezra 15 verse 1, says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord. So we're not coming out there speaking of our own accord, but according to the scriptures, thus saith the Lord. So let's continue. Verse 2. This is 2 Ezra 9 verse 2. Then shall thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproar of the people in the world. So you hear two of these signs, earthquakes and uproar of the people in the world. So what took place today on Wednesday? So look here. Yeah. Alright, so this is earthquake felt in Trinidad and Venezuela and Jamaica. Because out here you have a lot of people who ask them wondering if they felt that earthquake, So it's a Port of Spain, Trinidad, CMC earthquake with a magnitude of 4.2 rattled Port of Spain on Wednesday, which is today. Let's see something else. Okay. Here this now. So on Tuesday, so that took place today on Wednesday. It said on Tuesday, a quake with a magnitude of 5.4 was felt in Bridgetown, Barbados, Castries, Saint Lucia, and Fort de France, Martinique. So these things that transpire, like earthquake in diverse places, as written in Matthew 24. Who are take note of these things? And let me just say now, and I make sense of it through the scriptures, that these things were foretold for our learning. that when we see these things, we know that, amen, salvation is at the door. Destruction is at the door. Because these things work in tandem, the destruction and salvation. And so the Lord declared 2 signs of squall. And say you have earthquake and uproar of the people in the world. So let's see something else now. What's going on around the world concerning this war will take place in the Middle East? Let's see.
France and other countries, and I'm going to show you all of them in just a bit in great detail. And the biggest flashpoint in Europe is France, without question. You know, I have always revered the French style of protest, and I've told you this. I had a French education, and I know exactly how the solidarity functions. And the students have come out. They've come out, for example, in Sciences Po. They've come out in the Sorbonne. These are very big universities in France. And it's so funny because they've sent the media into a frenzy. And the fact that it was just a few students on the first day, it makes them especially mad, right? So let me show you some of the clips. It's really the same treatment that you see in the US. I mean, what do you think happened? You got people setting up tents, and then of course they send in the riot police, right? Which is what you normally do for a bunch of students. You call the riot police. So these are the CRS, okay? They're the classic French riot police who have a reputation for just being the most brutal people imaginable. Yeah, I mean, this is what a democracy looks like, right? You drag people off to beat them in some undisclosed location. There's more of it. There's more of it, and people are building barricades here. For example, this is in Rennes. So this is at Sciences Po. They've started putting up, dustbins and other things to stop the people from coming in. And look what it says: from Columbia to Columbia University, from Columbia to Rennes, solidarity for Gaza. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it? Amazing, amazing, really. This is what we have needed the entire time. So you can see here also. This is at the Sorbonne. That is a massive flag. I need one for my background, honestly. We've got to put one up here. There are many politicians who showed up to participate in these student protests, mostly and namely from La France Insoumise, which is the party of Jean-Luc Mélenchon. It's the leftist, the proper leftist party in France. And so they showed up to express solidarity with people, with Gaza, with the students. Look at this. This is at Sciences Po, but in Menton, and they basically closed this is what it says here. They've closed the entire university because people, they unfurled a Palestinian flag. Right, which is, again, this is what you do. This is proportionate, democratic, rational, sane thinking. You just shut down the entire university because some people held up a Palestine flag. You know, don't want the Zionists to feel unsafe, right? God forbid. Here, this is also in Rennes. You can see up there. They're occupying one of the student houses and put up a giant Palestine flag and a Free Gaza banner. Here, the police, the CRS, the riot police, they went into the university, and you can see it's the same militarized response that you get in the United States. Okay, it's just an army of droids coming in. And make no mistake, you know, the French, they are supplying the Israelis with weapons, and regardless whether they have supplied them with weapons or not, they could have given the Israelis one screwdriver or a screw, and they would still be complicit. They could give them nothing and they would be complicit. Do you know why? Because they have abdicated, prevent and punish with the Israeli occupation.
Breaking news as we come to you at 4. Law enforcement is starting to mobilize at an encampment at UT Dallas.
Yeah, students have established a camp there today. They're vowing to stay until the school meets their demands over the war in Israel and Palestine. I want to get to our Jason Allen. He's live for us in Richardson now.
And let's go back to Jason, because just until just a few moments ago, it had seemed the university was going to allow these demonstrators to take over part of campus, but as we can see now, that's changing. Jason, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, Karen. Yeah, this has changed drastically in the last 30 seconds, and we're going to move here because we want to stay on the edge of what's happening. So just in the last minute or so, we saw, really in the last 10 minutes, we saw law enforcement start to move in here. We have not seen any of this presence throughout the day since this encampment was started early this morning before sunrise. But in the last 10 minutes, we saw, you can see it's sheriff from Dallas County. There are state troopers here. I saw Richardson police here, a number of law enforcement agencies. I want to go over here. You see there's an arrest happening right here. Just make sure you don't go too far there, Robert. In the last few minutes, they all just moved up suddenly. The organizers of the student protest just before this read a letter to people who were here at the camp saying they had received a letter from administration telling them that while they were allowed to peacefully protest, that they would not be allowed to have an encampment or any sort of structures, and that any attempt to stay in a camp or have those structures up could put them at risk of being arrested for trespassing. And
University of Arizona is one of a long line of universities across the country where pro-Palestinian protesters refused police orders to move out, and police moved in to remove them by force. Pro-Palestinian protesters set up tents and canopies in a grove of olive trees just inside the university's main gate. University of Arizona police told them they would be trespassing if any of it remained after 10:30 at night. The night before, protesters removed an encampment on the university's main mall. U of A fenced that area soon after. But on this night, 10:30 went, and the encampment stayed. Shortly after 2 a.m., our cameras caught state troopers putting on gas masks. Some protesters threw water bottles at law enforcement as a combined force of university police, Tucson police, sheriff's deputies, and state troopers forced the protesters out of the encampment, down the street, and away from the area. Dietz says he was at a peaceful gathering that did not deserve that police response.
I think that it was.
Thought is when you're watching what's happening on these campuses, okay, don't allow people to use it to influence how you feel. Just see it for what it is and find coverage where you see they're not pushing an agenda. That's what we're doing here at News Nation. We'll show you what's happening at UCLA. There is word that there's going to be police intervention to take down the encampments and remove people. What will happen if they do that? Who knows? We have West Coast Bureau correspondent Nancy Liu in position to report. Nancy's checking in now. Nancy, how do you understand the situation at this time, and what is anticipated?
We're seeing.
So, as you can see, according to the scriptures, we see it transpire is according to prophecy. It's nothing just randomly taking place here. Is it not written over there? So the Lord shall make a small amongst the heathen and greatly despise. This is just what's playing out here. Esau, Edom, mainly the chief, Amalek. You know? So let's read one more time. 2 Ezra 9 verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproar of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginning in wonders and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs. And these are all signs of the end. But as I have said, who can discern these things? Is it not written in Matthew 16 verse 2 on down? That's roughly 1 on down. When they say, oh, ye hypocrite, when you can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times? We're in those times, when the signs of the times are playing out very, very clearly. This is Romans 13 verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So right now it's time for all hands on deck, As the brother, as the elder, forgot the elder name, but him answer Raka, you see me? But they'll do a video concerning the laborers are few, yo. Now is the time for all hands on deck, you know. So hope this is edifying. With that I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kodash, Shalom.